What's going on, Geminites? It's your boy GemMint. Today I'm going to talk about how I bought my first CGC Grail comic book, an Amazing Fantasy 15, graded at a 1.5. Before we get started, make sure to hit that subscribe button down below, hit the notification bell and the like. We are giving away this Diamond Select Thanos from Infinity War once we hit 75,000 subscribers. Stay tuned to the end of the video and I'll tell you what you got to do to enter. So I wanted to make this video because it ties in with the what do I do for a living, how do I afford all this video that I made a few months back that a lot of you guys seem to enjoy. And this really is an example of how the hobby should fund itself. I'm going to kind of go through my Instagram page back when I first started in 2014, look at a couple pictures with you guys and explain my thought process and what I did in order to buy this big grail of a comic book. And just for reference, the going rate for a CGC 1.5 around that time was about $5,000. Looking right now, the last sale was $10,500. So I wish I still had that book now, but just to let you know kind of what the goal was. Now, when I first started my Instagram back in 2014, I did not have a large collection of comic books. I actually recently got back into comics because I found out about eBay. Started buying trading cards that I used to have growing up, started buying raw books, Amazing Spider-Man, kind of putting together a little run, and I would just buy a little something here or there with every paycheck that I got. After doing this for a few months or so, I found out about CGC. I started finding CGC slabs on eBay, and I would purchase a couple inexpensive ones. I think like a Venom Lethal Protector #1 at a 9.8 was like one of my first ones that I bought. So then what I started doing was starting to submit those raw keys that I've been buying off eBay to CGC. So I would have stuff like Secret Wars 8, Amazing Spider-Man, like 298, 299, 300. You know, not 9.8s, but I would always try to get a decent grade off eBay. So what I eventually did was build up enough raw books to send a submission to CGC. Now let's take a look at some early pictures from my Instagram page. So if we take a look at the first picture that I have on there, it's me, a lot slimmer, with a Infinity Gauntlet 1, a 9.6. See, right now I wouldn't even buy a 9.6. But after kind of buying a bunch of books, slabbing some books, I ended up with a pretty nice wall here. If you see, I have like the first appearance of Carnage, first appearance of Wolverine up top, first appearance of Sabretooth. Now, how I got to the AF-15, first I started with smaller Grail books, right, or smaller keys. If you take a look at this picture, this was my Spawn run, which was complete issues 1 through 242 at the time. It also had all the miniseries like Cygor, like Medieval Spawn. I think it had all the miniseries except for Curse of the Spawn because I think that was like another 30 or so issues. But this was kind of one of the runs I was putting together, going out to local comic shops, buying all the Spawn issues that I could, buying lots on eBay. And, you know, I didn't have a lot of capital to begin with. I would just kind of every paycheck try to buy something here or there. So eventually what I did was I decided to put that Spawn lot up on eBay for an auction. I started at 99 cents. I let the market dictate the value, and it auctioned for $1,100, which I was super happy about. Now, I don't really know how much I put into it, but the $1,100, I ended up buying the Incredible Hulk 181. I think it was like a 4.0 or a 4.5, and that's how I got that. Then to get all those other kind of smaller keys, like that Iron Fist 14, I think that was only like a $150 book in that grade right there. I would start selling my completed runs from the weekly comic books, right? So I was collecting Venom. I had every Venom issue, every variant. Boom, I would sell the whole lot on eBay or with Amazing Spider-Man or whatever. I decided that I would rather have the keys than to have those weekly single issue runs. I've always been the type of collector that'll sell that old thing to buy that next new thing. So that was already my mentality as a kid. So that's what I started doing again. If you take a look at this picture right here, this was a time when the first Deadpool movie was coming out. And I think Rob Liefeld tweeted something like, oh, you guys better get this X-Force 2. It's a really important character in here. And I don't even think there was. But I would go to my local comic shops and I would find these kind of hot books, X-Force 2s for like $2 each. I would put together these little Deadpool lots of like X-Force 2, X-Force 11, X-Force 15, and I would sell them for like $30 or so, and I would make a profit off that. You know, that was kind of a fun thing. I would hit the local comic shops every weekend. I would hit like all the shops in my little 30-mile radius, and I would buy and sell. Here's a cool little video that I found on my Instagram page that kind of shows the old Gempire, the old room, one of the old comic book rooms that I had back in Florida. It had all these keys on the wall, and all these Spider-Man first appearances, X-Men or whatever. So one day I'm sitting around and I'm like, man, Spider-Man is my favorite character. So I'm over here collecting all these Spider-Man villain keys, all these kind of like first appearance of the black suit, all these kind of like minor keys. I'm like, what I really need to do is get the first appearance of Spider-Man if that's my favorite character. So I figured out what it was going to cost to get. I was like, man, I need about like $5,000-$6,000. And then I thought to myself, like, all these books were relatively easy to get. What if I just sold everything that I have now? Would I have enough money to buy the Amazing Fantasy 15? And it was pretty close. Like towards the end, I even sold like my Blu-ray collection. Like I was down to sell whatever I had to get to that goal, because I knew once I had the Amazing Fantasy 15, I could always rebuy first appearance of Venom or first appearance of Carnage. Once you got that hard book out of the way, it would be easy to start hunting down the other ones. Here's like another example while I was kind of moving toward that goal. This is a bunch of Silver Age Raw books that I would buy like once every 2 weeks. I would go to like Tate's Comics. I would pick up any kind of book I could that was affordable. And even when I bought the AF-15, I still had books at CGC coming back. So I had a Fantastic 448 and all these other key issues that I received from CGC after I already owned the AF-15. So sure enough, then I went ahead and went towards my next grail. I got an X-Men 1 3.5, which I had a 1.0 earlier, but I upgraded it. And I started building up my slab collection. Here's a good look at like 5 books that I had that were pretty big books that I sold all of them to get to that AF-15. So yeah, I mean, I could have saved up money every week and put it to the side until I had $5,000, but I'm not really good at saving money. And plus, when it comes to money, like something always comes up. That's why I always like to put my money into collectibles, right? And then build up this big collection and then boom, sell it all at once to get to this goal. You know, it's funny that that first appearance of Deadpool, that New Mutants 98, I bought that raw off of eBay. And, you know, I had good pictures and I was looking at it and I was like, man, I don't see any flaws in it. I bought it for $150. It came back in 9.8. At the time, that was going for like $425. So I sold it. And like literally a day or two later, the test footage with Ryan Reynolds as Deadpool came out and the book like doubled, tripled up. I think it was going for like over like $1,200 and kind of leveled out since then. But man, I was kind of upset, but I still had a lot of profit into it. But I ended up buying all these books again after I had the AF-15. And until I kind of got sick of the hobby. You know, I kind of got sick of chasing that next big book because I got an Amazing Fantasy 15, an X-Men 1, Fantastic Four 1, another Hulk 181, and an Avengers 1. And I just kind of got burnt out with that. I ended up selling all of those books, got into the omnibus hobby, got into the statue hobby. And the CGC slabs just really didn't do it for me anymore. But I hope this video came out good. I hope I kind of touched on everything I intended to touch on when I kind of map out how I'm going to do this stuff. But basically, you know, with the collectible hobby, I always say it should fund itself. And although I did put my own money into all these books, I ended up taking that collection and turning it into the next thing I wanted. Because like I said, it's harder to get that big, expensive item, and it's easy to go back and get all those cheaper books, statues, omnibus, or whatever it is. Alright guys, like I said earlier, we are giving away this Diamond Select Thanos statue from Infinity War once we hit the 75,000 subscriber milestone. So all you have to do to enter this giveaway is be subscribed to this channel, hit the notification bell. You need to like and comment on this video. Once we hit the 75,000 subscribers, we're going to pick a random video that we've promoted this giveaway in and do a YouTube random comment generator to pick the winner. So the more videos you comment on, the more of a chance you're going to have to win. This will be a worldwide giveaway, so all you have to do is subscribe and comment. Let me know if you guys practice this type of thing in your hobbies, or am I just crazy? Am I the only one that does this? Drop me a comment below. Thanks for watching. Stay minty fresh. Peace. What's going on, Geminites? It's your boy Gem Mint. Today I want to talk about how I bought my first CGC Grail, an Amazing Fantasy... What's going on, Geminites? It's your boy Gem Mint. Today I want to talk about how I bought my first Amazing Fantasy A, man. What's going on, Geminites? It's your boy Gem Mint. Today I want to talk about how I bought my first... And just for reference, the If you like this content, please subscribe to the channel by hitting the gem to the left. And if you like more stories like this, check out the What Do I Do for a Living video here on the right.